My name is Robert Villanueva, and I'm making this video for the purpose of providing information about myself and what my cause is here. So, between the ages of 17 and 19, I got into a lot of trouble. I was hanging around the wrong people. I was living on the street, and I just was making a lot of bad choices. And it all caught up with me when I was at the age of 19. So at that time, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was trying to start my life out. And I got arrested, and I ended up paying the price. So I went to prison for 48 months, of which I only served 32 with the portion of the sentence that you're required to serve in the state of Minnesota. When I got out, I learned a lot about the fact that being convicted of a felony, of any kind of felony, really closes a lot of doors for you, and it prevents you from living what I would consider a normal life. You can still live, but you have to adjust your living standards somewhat and your expectations. For instance, I had a great education. I went to Edina High School, which is ranked pretty high in the country. So I was just in a really good area, and even though I was making bad decisions, I was blessed to have been given the opportunity to grow up in a town like that and receive that kind of an education. Fast forward a few years later, which is about around the time where my current situation begins, I was dating this woman that I had been dating for a while. So we're talking over 6 years, and discovered that something was wrong in our relationship. And as it turns out, she was seeing somebody else while she was in the relationship. And when I discovered some evidence of this, I brought it to her attention, and it caused an argument because she became defensive. And in that argument, she attacked me. And I have pictures, which I'm going to provide as evidence. She assaulted me, and I ended up getting arrested for it. That same day of that incident, I got arrested for it. So being somebody that had gone to prison, had gotten out, and had remained law-abiding, to have this happen scared me because I didn't know if I was going to get sentenced for something. But I learned not to trust the system. I had a completely different view of it. That's not to say I still support police, which is really strange, having been incarcerated still. The thing about the situation that was really difficult for me was having evidence that the police had taken photographs of themselves, of the physical assault that I had sustained damage from, physical injury from, and the fact that she had received no injuries at all the night of the allegation. And I was still arrested and taken to jail. I stayed in jail for, I believe it was 2 days. I was released and then put on a form of probation with a no contact order. And at the time, we lived together, but I was not, as a result of that no contact order, allowed to go back to my home. And that was the place I had a lease requirement to pay rent on. So I'm on the street. I'm having to pay rent on a place I cannot live at because she's there. She's living there free of rent, doing whatever she wants to do there. And I still have to pay the bills. So this became difficult. I ended up getting a hotel so I could take a shower. I don't have any family, by the way. I think that's evident to the fact that when I was young, I ended up in the situation I was in because I didn't have a support structure. So, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just giving you an idea of what my background is. Because of the fact that I was charged with, it was domestic assault and interfering with the 911 call, all of the charges of which were dropped as a result of there being a lack of evidence to proceed at trial. Even though they arrested me, which would make no sense. Because in order to arrest somebody, you need to have probable cause. But you will see in the documents that I provide that the prosecutor ended up dropping charges short of trial because they knew I wasn't guilty. Which it was just disgusting. It was almost like it was a miscarriage of the law. And when I brought this to their attention, they finally dropped it. Anyway, I lost my job. So I was spending whatever I had in savings on the house that I couldn't live in for about a year until I ran out. And I was making my car payments at the time. I ran out of money, and I have been looking for a job, but it's been really hard to find. It was extremely hard for me to find that job before, because even though I'm qualified, whenever people run my criminal background and they see that, they just decide they don't want to hire me. And it's really difficult being judged based on something on paper rather than who I am in person. I guess I can't I can't blame people who don't understand. So I finally found a job, and that job starts November the 6th, and it gives me light at the end of the tunnel. Granted, it's temporary. It's only from November 6th till mid-January. It'll give me an opportunity to make some money while I'm also trying to find something else. But there's been a replevin order, which is a civil order for repossession of property through the financing company that provided the loan for this vehicle. They want it back. I put $6,000 into this car, and I'm trying to hold on to it. If I get this job, I can actually hold on to it. But I don't know what I'm going to do, because right now this is where I live, and without a car I can't work, and I'm just starting to feel like I'm going to end up homeless soon, so I don't know what to do. So I'm asking that if there is anybody out there who cares enough to help me, please feel free to contact me. I'll provide you with any information that you want. I just want an opportunity. I want a chance to live. And it's been really hard. It's been really difficult because our society judges people. And the good guys, the men who are capable of change, who are capable of being better, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to do that. So thank you for listening if you've listened this far. And if there's anything that you're willing to contribute, my goal here is to, at the very least, raise about $15,000 so I can pay this car off, and at the very least have this vehicle, so I can move from there. Winter's coming, it's going to get cold, and I'm not sure where I'm going to be. So thank you.